Hey, what's going on YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I'm going to talk you through signal chain and give you all the basics you need to create great tones, no matter if you're using the Fender Toolmaster Pro, Axe FX, FM9, or analog gear. This is a video for you. Before we get started, we need to take some time to really understand what signal chain is and why it's important. Alright, so for us, signal chain is the path that our guitar signal is going to take from the start to finish, from strumming a guitar to hearing it coming out of my amp. The path that signal takes is considered your signal chain. Every step in this chain shapes your tone. So a killer foundation of understanding this stuff is going to help you get better tone consistently. So let's break down the key components of signal pathing. Signal pathing is going to start with your guitar and your pickups. Now, I am a firm believer of Team Tonewood, maple and rosewood versus swamp ash, mahogany. It all makes a big difference in the grand scheme of things. It's kind of like a cake. However, really the most important part is probably your pickups, okay? Your pickups are going to make a huge difference in your guitar tone. Like single coil pickups are just going to sound completely different than humbucker pickups. Like I can't make a single coil Strat sound like a humbucker Les Paul, and vice versa. So that's where it starts, is with your pickups. This is why it's really important to make sure that your guitar has great pickups. Now that signal is going to be routed through hopefully a tuner. That should be the first pedal you buy a tuner. And then we're going to be going through our signal chain. And we're about to jump into signal pathing, and I'm going to give you kind of like my favorite signal path, but all of this stuff matters. So let's talk about ideal pedal order. Now, what I'm about to show you is my ideal pedal order, but I'm going to jump into the Toolmaster Pro and show you how I also break those rules, just so you can have some reference if this is like your first time getting into this stuff. So no matter if I am using analog gear or a modeler, the first thing in my signal path is going to be a compressor or a wah pedal. I kind of go back and forth between what's first. Just depends on the wah pedal and the signal chain, honestly. Outside of controlling dynamics, I use my stomp boxes. Now, my preferred order is overdrive, distortion, and then fuzz. I think that overdrive going into those sounds a lot better than the other stuff going into my overdrive. However, you do need to know that a popular opinion is for distortion, then overdrive. Again, experiment. Outside of that, next in our signal chain, I use modulation. So this is everything from the rotary that you see here on screen to chorus if I am on analog pedals, or really phaser, anything that's modulation, boom, right in front of the amp. Then you have your amp. My amp on this case is the 65 Deluxe. One thing that's different in the digital world that you can't really do in the analog world is post effects. For post effects, I really like to have my chorus outside of the amp. Now, I do want to make a quick note that there are effects loops. That's not what I'm talking about here. So basically, all of that signal from the amp and the cabinet is going into a chorus. You can't really do that in real life. That's just something that you can only do in like a studio environment or with a modeler. Now, if you have a modeler, it doesn't really matter which modeler you have. Try putting chorus after. I find that it really opens up your tone. So especially on big leads where you just want it to stick out, a chorus post amp can really open you up. Now, for me being a modeler guy, I always split my time bass effect. So I'll run a splitter here and I'll put my large hall reverb above or my memory man delay. But I separate reverb from delay. I just think it keeps the signal path nice and clean. So with that in mind, let's jump into the Pro Control app and let me show you some of the rigs I've built and show you these fundamentals and how I break these rules sometimes. So the first rig we're going to look at is my Southern Rock rig. Now you can purchase this if you're interested, or you can just snag this pedal order and build it yourself. But the first thing I have here is my wah pedal. Then that's running into a studio compressor. Then I have overdrive. Then I run my fuzz. And then for my modulation, I'm using this Univibe. The inspiration for this was Jimi Hendrix. And I'm running a plexi. I run a splitter where I'm running two different cabinet sections. I like to blend a condenser mic with a SM57 if I'm doing something for, like, I built this for a live performance in a Southern rock band. I like to blend those two signals. So this is kind of just like the peanut butter and jelly of microphones. Outside of that, I have an EQ10 set up post amp for my Les Paul. And this is mostly just to control the tone that's going through the band's PA system. And then I split my reverb from my delay. Again, you see that here. On my everything preset, I do something slightly different. So still, you see compression, then you see my overdrive. And by the way, this Mythic Drive 2, this is like the best pedal in the Toolmaster Pro. Then I have my rotary, which is my modulation. On this preset, I'm running 2 different delay pedals. I enjoy the subtle dynamic delay that's in front of the JC 120 that you see here. It just sounds really good. It reminds me of my old analog delay pedal that I used to run directly into a 65 Deluxe, so I'm kind of replicating that vibe. Then post amp, I have a chorus to open up my leads, and then I split again this. Now let me show you one last preset that I actually break these rules, and this is my Strat Rig. Now again, we're not doing anything too terribly crazy. You could look at this and be like, oh yeah, that's kind of like a normal thing, but I did something slightly different. But from the beginning, I start off with a noise gate. I have recently moved studios, so in the past I had a noisy circuit that I had to like mitigate when I was using my Stratocaster. Then I ran an EQ7 and EQ for that Strat, run that into my studio compressor, and then I have my overdrive, modulation, and then fuzz. For this session, I wasn't really using the modulation and fuzz together, so that's fine, but there was one part where I got a really cool tone using this chorus running into this round fuzz. It sounded great. I just ran everything through a tremolo, and it just gave it really, really cool ambience. I was using this for some pad stuff I was working on with guitar, and then I was running this through a synthesizer and just doing some weird sound design stuff, but this is an example of where you can really experiment and get outside of the rules that I just gave you and still get some really cool results. The last one we'll take a look at is like a traditional country setting. It started off as the Fender preset Chicken Pickin'. The only thing I've added to it for me is a wah pedal. I use wah in a couple different ways, mostly as like a high or low pass filter. And then you can I kind of replicate the talkbox thing, like anytime I'm using Tool or playing Tool, that's how I use a wah. Then I'm using a compressor, and on this, I'm compressing the heck out of the signal to try to get that country pickin', that Brad Paisley tone. Then I'm using the Nashville Overdrive, OD1, I think is what it is. Then the rotary, dude, the rotary on the Toolmaster Pro, if you love the sound of a Leslie, like think of like In Memory of Elizabeth Reed by the Allman Brothers, dude, that's the pedal, that's the sauce. Then all this is still stock, so this is a Princeton with a Vox and a little slapback. So you can really break the rules that I gave you, but that's the point, is that take the rules and the foundation that I showed you, and then find ways where you can break them to find your own sound. But hey, if you enjoyed today's format of where I give you a lecture and then I go through and show you applications of it, I have an entire course where this is the way that I teach. There's over 4 modules, and each module has over 5 lessons that not only have lecture, but also practical applications for you to go through so you can practice this stuff. On top of that, it's very community driven. So everything I just showed you, the community interacts with you. And I think right now we just broke 85 different comments. So it's very active over there. So if you're looking for a place where you can learn and experiment and master your own guitar tone, that's the place for you. Now, as you saw, all the fundamentals that I just went over, while I showed you them on the Toolmaster Pro, those fundamentals apply to analog hardware as well as any modeler you're using. So if you don't have a Toolmaster Pro, but you still want to learn this stuff, my mastery course is still for you. And with that, I just want to say thank you so much for watching this video. If you found value from it, please let me know by giving me a subscription if I earned your trust, and a like on the video, and maybe 1 or 2 things that you learned in the comment section below.